The second important freedom provided under Article 19, Clause 1, under subclass B, that is freedom to assemble. But this freedom to assemble, even though it is a freedom guaranteed under Article 19, Clause 1, subclass B, but it must be peaceful and it must be in regards to public order, public safety, and public morality. So, regarding this reasonable restriction, we found the very provision of Criminal Procedure Code under Section 144, which is a kind of reasonable restriction to maintain law and order and to maintain public order and peace. So, this freedom to assemble, even though it is provided to the citizens or the persons, it only prohibits any such assemblies of persons which violates the peaceful atmosphere, the law and order, and if it affects public safety or public morality, then the state could impose Section 144 of the Criminal Procedure Code. And now we'll go to the subclass C under Clause A Clause 1 of Article 19, which relates to freedom to form associations, unions, and organizations, and relating to that freedom to form associations or unions, would like to discuss the leading case Delhi Police Non-Gazetted Karmachari Sangha versus Union of India. In 1987, the Supreme Court made the very observation that right to freedom of association covers a variety of rights so long as the association is for a lawful purpose. The right includes the right to start or continue an association subject to reasonable restrictions in the interest of the sovereignty or integrity of India, public order, and morality as it was decided in this very important leading case, that is Delhi Police Non-Gazetted Karmachari Sangha versus Union of India in 1987 by the Supreme Court. And in that connection, the freedom to form association, we would like to discuss another important leading case, that is Suresh Sharma versus Suresh Swamy versus State of Rajasthan. In 2001, the Rajasthan High Court expressed that right to form an association or union being a fundamental right of every citizen, including the students of the colleges, that right can only be curtailed or put under cloud by legislative action. The state government has no authority to pass executive orders regarding amendment or alteration in the eligibility criteria for contesting the elections of the student union or associations. And in that connection, we will discuss regarding the very position of cooperative societies, and in that connection, we will discuss the very leading case in relation to cooperative societies, and that is a leading case, state of Uttar Pradesh versus Chikoi Employees Cooperative Society Limited in 1997. The Supreme Court made the observation that though Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause C guaranteed freedom to form an association, the freedom is subject to certain permissible restrictions imposed by law. So, provisions of the UP Cooperative Societies Act 1965 do not infringe this freedom. So, court cannot interfere with policy of the government as it was decided in this very important leading case, State of Uttar Pradesh versus Chikoi Employees Cooperative Society Limited in 1997. And now we'll go to another form of incorporated associations, and regarding that we would like to discuss a most important leading case, and that is All India Bank Employees Association versus National Industrial Tribunal, and as it was decided in 1962 by the Supreme Court. So in that connection, it was expressed that an unincorporated association cannot also be citizen and cannot claim these rights, as because an unincorporated association, as it is not incorporated under the Society Registration Act or under Indian Companies Act or any prevailing law as it is under in force, if that association is not incorporated, then it would be called as an unincorporated association, and such unincorporated association cannot also be a citizen and cannot claim these rights which falls under freedom to form an association or an union, etc. So, in our upcoming video, we'll discuss the other freedoms that are available under Article 19, Clause 1, such as freedom of movement, freedom of residence, and freedom of profession.